And at number 10, we got Donald Trump. The former president has been banned from the majority of social media platforms. The domino effect of bans started when he was banned from Twitter following the January 7th insurrection that took place at the Washington, D.C. Capitol. Immediately after the riots, he was banned off of Twitter and Facebook. Twitter's ban was permanent, while Facebook's was temporary, pending an investigation, although Facebook ended up extending the ban further. After these two major companies banned Trump, he was also banned from Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and even Pinterest. Trump has tried suing the platforms to get his profiles back, and he is currently in litigation with all the major platforms, so I guess we'll see what happens. And at number 9, Rihanna. So it seems that even Rihanna is not above the rules, and the singer was temporarily banned off Instagram after she posted a photo to the platform that violated their terms of service. The photo in question showed a lot of her backside, if you catch my drift. The account was quickly reactivated, however said photo was removed from her profile. Rihanna is not the last celebrity who was temporarily banned from the platform for a little misstep, and she has been vocal against their restrictions. And at number 8, Courtney Love. Singer Courtney Love was suspended off Twitter in 2011 after she made some defamatory comments about fashion designer Dawn Simorangkir. Apparently back in 2009, Love took to just about every social media platform, especially Twitter, to rant about Simorangkir, who was reportedly, quote, demanding payment for a few $1,000s worth of clothes. But things turned nasty fast, and she at one point accused the designer of being a sex worker. Simorangkir ultimately took the singer to court, and Love's feed was temporarily suspended ahead of trial in early 2011. According to Time, the singer settled the case for nearly $450,000. And this was actually not the last time one of her tweets got her in a lawsuit either. And at number 7, Azealia Banks. Azealia Banks has been somewhat of a cyberbully online for years, so it's not a shock that she ended up getting banned because of it. She had come after a number of celebrities over the years, but when she attacked Zayn Malik using racist and homophobic slurs, she was kicked off the platform. This all took place in 2016, and insiders from Twitter state she almost got banned after some controversial comments about Sarah Palin. However, this was the final straw. After the ban, she tried to get back on using a different account, but that was also suspended. And at number 6, Rose McGowan. Rose McGowan has been a very vocal figure in the Me Too movement, and she was the first celebrity to call out Harvey Weinstein by name. She was first banned by Twitter in 2016 when she tweeted about an anonymous studio head whose nasty behavior was, quote, an open secret in Hollywood/the media. This tweet caught the attention of Ronan Farrow, who later published a New York Times report on it. Years later, when the report was published and hundreds of other women came forward, actor Ben Affleck decided to tweet out in disgust of Weinstein, which a lot of people were doing at the time. But this sent McGowan into a long rant, alleging that Affleck had known about Weinstein's bad behavior for years. She ended up tweeting for Affleck to F off, but was not suspended until she posted someone's phone number on the platform. She got her account back once it was deleted. Halfway number 5, Clint Eastwood. After Trump won the 2016 election, Clint Eastwood was incredibly happy about it and tweeted out his delight about the win. But many were scratching their heads when his account was later suspended. Some felt the platform was limiting his free speech or even showing a liberal bias. But there was actually more to the story, and it was revealed that he wasn't suspended because of his support for Trump, but because the account wasn't actually Clint Eastwood's. I guess it was just an imposter that was pretending to be him. However, if the account wasn't verified, which I'm kind of assuming it wasn't, I don't know why anyone would really think it's actually Clint Eastwood. I mean, come on now, but okay. And at number 4, Chelsea Handler. This case of suspension was very similar to Rihanna's, and Handler got in trouble on Instagram after she posted a racy photo that violated their terms of service. This took place in 2014 when she posted a topless photo of herself riding a horse. The image apparently broke Instagram's rules about nudity, which doesn't allow women to show their nipples. However, men are allowed to. This decision has drawn a lot of criticism from influencers and celebrities alike, who pointed out the blatant double standard of the policy. Even though Handler was vocal against the decision, the photo was eventually deleted. And at number 3, Adele. This is probably the funniest case of banning because Adele decided to actually ban herself from Twitter. And in this day and age of cancel culture, she definitely made the right decision. And it seems that her thinking was along these lines, and when asked about the decision, she said she felt like she was getting too close to tweeting something inappropriate, and taking herself off the platform was the best way to avoid getting in trouble while she's drunk. Now, instead of being off the platform, her Twitter account is run by her team, who tweet and post for her. And at number 2, PewDiePie. PewDiePie is YouTube's biggest star, but he also has a lot of controversy under his belt. One of these is his Twitter suspension. Back in 2016, the YouTuber had his Twitter temporarily suspended, and his verification was even stripped because he made a joke about joining ISIS with another YouTuber. But that wasn't the first of his controversies. He also got massive backlash after he posted a video to his channel that showed a sign with an anti-Semitic message. This video was not only taken down by the platform, but the incident got his YouTube Red series cancelled. He was also dropped from the partner program. After all the fallout from the incident, PewDiePie decided to post less on YouTube and started streaming on sites like Twitch. And finally, number 1, Kanye West. With all the insane rants Kanye posts on Twitter, it's no wonder that he's been suspended on the platform. But instead of being suspended for the things that he has said, Kanye actually got suspended in 2020 after he tweeted out the personal phone number of the Forbes editor at the time. This is obviously doxing and is against Twitter's terms. The ban for this offense lasted less than 12 hours, and he hopped right back on after. Around the time he released the phone number, he also posted photos of his recording contract on Twitter so that his fans could see the arrangement. This was around the time he was fighting for his own masters, and he felt he was going to get killed for speaking out against big names in the industry. And at number 10, we have Sacha Baron Cohen. Sacha Baron Cohen, who is known for his outrageous comedic stunts, actually got banned from the Oscars because they were too afraid that he would do something crazy on the red carpet. It was reported that a few days before the 84th Academy Awards, Baron Cohen's tickets were pulled, meaning that he was banned from the show, even though he's an Academy member and was one of the stars of Hugo, one movie up for Best Picture. With the statement from the Oscars reading, quote, "Unless they're assured that nothing entertaining is going to happen on the red carpet, the Academy is not admitting Sacha Baron Cohen to the show." This came after rumors were swirling that Baron Cohen would show up in a costume on the red carpet. So I mean, maybe that was a little valid, they need to protect their show. And at number 9, Kanye West. So as we know, Kanye West is famous for his incident interrupting Taylor Swift on stage at the MTV VMAs, and embarrassing both of them. So after a crazy event like that, it's not hard to assume that he was banned from award shows for a long time after. It's such a common theory that a satire site, the Adobe Chronicles, even published an article saying that he was banned from all award shows after he interrupted someone yet again on stage at the 2015 Grammy Awards, with them saying in the article that all the TV networks have joined the, quote, West boycott. And even though banning Kanye would make a lot of sense, it hasn't officially happened, but after having incidents in 2009 and 2015, I'm sure networks are hesitant to invite West to any awards. And I would assume he's banned from ever presenting, that's for sure. And at number 8, Richard Gere. Richard Gere was not only banned from the Oscars, but also China after he made a controversial speech at the awards ceremony. In 1993, Gere was presenting on stage, but he took the time to criticize the Chinese government and speak in support of Tibet. After this speech, Gere was banned from the Oscars for years, until he was allowed to return in 2013 to present an award with his castmate from Chicago. During that period of exile, he continued to speak out on behalf of Tibet and other international causes. So I guess the ban didn't change much about him being vocal, just not on the Oscars stage. And at number 7, Carmine Karidi. Actor Carmine Karidi was actually the first person to ever be kicked out of the Academy. He was expelled in 2004 because the Academy learned that he was sharing movie screeners with other people, which are obviously very against the rules. Karidi spoke to The Hollywood Reporter about the incident, saying in the interview, quote, "Let me tell you something. Everybody does it, okay? I was doing a guy a favor and he screwed me." And this was actually starting to become a real issue in the industry, with the former MPAA chief imposing a ban on all screeners to combat piracy, with the Academy members being the only people allowed screeners. Apparently Karidi gave them to a man that would copy them for himself and then send them back to Karidi. Karidi was also sued by all major studios for the action, so clearly if you're ever in that position, just follow the rules. I mean, it's really not that hard. And at number 6, Miley Cyrus. When the 2020 Grammy Awards went down, tons of fans were wondering why Miley Cyrus wasn't in attendance, although she wasn't nominated, performing, or presenting, so there could have been a host of reasons. But Miley decided to call out all award shows when she posted a video of her on stage presenting at the MTV VMAs, lighting up a smoke on stage during the performance, with that obviously being a throwback picture, with the caption reading, quote, "And we wonder why I'm not invited to award shows anymore." But of course, tons of celebrities loved the subtle shade and commented their support on her Instagram post, with Alexander Wang writing, quote, "Don't ever change," and Lisa Rinna writing, "I'd have you at mine if I had one." Halfway at number 5, Schitt's Creek. It's impossible to think that this lovable group of Canadian icons was almost left out of an award show because of the show's name. But that's actually what happened. At the Emmy Awards, they were so adamant about the rule that there would be no swearing in their broadcast that they almost banned the name Schitt's Creek from the show. When host Jimmy Kimmel mentioned Schitt's Creek, which was nominated for 15 Emmy Awards, the show's logo appeared on the screen, all this so nobody would mistake for, shit. Like, honestly, we might have had to bleep out Schitt's Creek too, the way that I'm saying it. It's meant to sound like that. Jimmy Kimmel even found it so ridiculous that he even made a joke that this kind of censorship is why network TV is dying. And at number 4, The Weeknd. Even though The Weeknd had a phenomenal year and his album After Hours got commercial and critical success, he was noticeably absent from Grammy nominations. People have a lot of theories as to why they think that this happened, but most of them think the Grammys blacklisted the star because he went against them. Even though his past Grammy recognition has been stellar, with him having 3 wins and 10 nominations in total. One reason is that The Weeknd was very critical of the Grammys in an interview for the Rolling Stone, talking about their category changes, saying, quote, R&B and black music is such a wide variety. If they pull us all into one category, I still think it's not fair. We'll see how it goes. Maybe his comments were why he wasn't included. Another theory is surrounding the Super Bowl, as the star was picked to perform at both the Grammys and the Super Bowl. A massive honor, obviously. But people think that the Grammys didn't like the way it was negotiated, and decided to shaft the singer for choosing the Super Bowl over the Grammys, essentially. And at number 3, Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish called out the Grammys big time after she was asked to host the Grammy Awards premiere ceremony, but turned down the offer after being told that she would have to pay her own way there. After this was brought up in the media, Recording Academy interim chief Harvey Mason Jr. posted a public apology on social media, saying he was unaware of that offer, saying in the Instagram video, quote, it's just been brought to my attention that the Recording Academy invited Tiffany Haddish to host this year's premiere ceremony. Unfortunately, and without my knowing, the talent booker working the Academy told Ms. Haddish that we wouldn't even cover her costs while she hosted this event for us, adding that it's wrong and he's ashamed of that decision. Haddish commented back later saying, quote, all of that would have to come out of my pocket. I don't know if this might mean I might not get nominated ever again, but I think it's disrespectful. Based on the way it played out with public support being on Tiffany's side, I think she'll still be good in the graces of the award show, but hey, they might take the embarrassment out on her instead. Who really knows? And at number 2, PricewaterhouseCoopers accountants. Back in 2017, the Oscars had one of their worst blunders to date, when the Oscar award for Best Picture temporarily went to the wrong film, which was the fault of the accountants who were supposed to ensure the winners were announced correctly. After the embarrassing mistake, the Oscars banned the 2 accountants who were backstage at the Oscars for not rectifying the situation soon enough. Brian Cullinan was the accountant that gave the card to the presenter, causing the whole situation. But the other accountant, Martha Ruiz, did not directly cause the situation, but she didn't do enough to fix it after it happened. When talking about the ban, the Academy said, quote, I'm sure they're very lovely people, but they just didn't have the disposition for this. You need someone who's going to be confident and unafraid, one of those sources told The Wrap, explaining that Martha failed to react to the drama fast enough. And that was, of course, La La Land getting the award instead of Moonlight that actually won that year. And finally, at number 1, Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais is probably banned from hosting any more award shows ever after his shocking monologue at the Golden Globe Awards in January of 2020. In the monologue, he starts off by saying it's his 5th time hosting, and he really doesn't care anymore, which he made very clear by saying he didn't care like every few minutes of the monologue. Starting off saying, quote, you'll be pleased to know that this is my last time hosting these awards. I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did. NBC clearly didn't either. 5th time. In the monologue, he took shots at basically all the people in attendance, even calling the Hollywood Foreign Press Association racist, and saying that Netflix is taking over Hollywood. Saying at one point the show is going to be doing a quote in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of who died, it wasn't diverse enough. Then going on to trash action movies, saying, quote, they wear masks and capes and really tight costumes. Their job isn't acting anymore. It's going to the gym twice a day and taking steroids. And yeah, after calling the people that hired you racist, I don't think he's expecting a call back.
At number 10, Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr had a pretty good thing going up until 2018. Prior to then, Roseanne was finding a lot of success in the Roseanne sitcom reboot on ABC and was getting ready to usher in a new season. Everything changed after the actress tweeted out an offensive and racist tweet about Barack Obama's former senior advisor, Valerie Jarrett, comparing her to an ape. As a result, Roseanne felt the wrath of Hollywood and her show and career had been cancelled. Though she deleted the tweet and issued an apology for her actions, this couldn't save her career, and she's since been reportedly blacklisted from Hollywood. The actress tried defending her actions by claiming that she thought Valerie Jarrett was white, but that excuse didn't really go over well, and it made things worse for her instead. Recently, we've seen Hollywood taking these kinds of offensive actions more seriously, so many celebs have faced mass scrutiny and cancellations because of past actions or current beliefs. Roseanne has also gone on to say in interviews that Hollywood shunned her because of her political beliefs. At number 9, CeeLo Green. CeeLo Green rose to fame in the mid-90s, but I think most of us know him for his hit song Forget You or F You. CeeLo even got to be a judge on The Voice for a brief time, that is until he began getting caught in scandals. The first came from back in 2011 after he was deemed homophobic after tweeting and using the word gay in a derogatory manner. This scandal blew over eventually until 2014 when a new scandal came about, this time concerning allegations of non-consensual relations with a woman. It was alleged that the singer slipped an illicit substance into a woman's drink and went home with her, but after pleading no contest to the allegations, it was determined that the relationship was consensual. CeeLo then proceeded to defend himself on Twitter, making offensive remarks, and as a result, he lost support. He stepped down from his role on The Voice and was even taken off the lineup for a music festival. He was essentially blacklisted for some time since no one really wanted to work with him. Even though he was later welcomed back to The Voice, this decision came with uproar, which suggests that fans haven't forgotten about CeeLo. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, please consider leaving a like, and also head on over to the Viper Girl channel and hit that subscribe button for some awesome gameplay content featuring yours truly. At number 8, Monique. Actress and comedian Monique became notable in Hollywood for her stand-up and her role on The Packers, but things escalated for her career when she was cast in the 2009 Oscar-nominated film Precious. Monique played an abusive mother in the film, and as a result of her talent, she was awarded an Oscar for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. This should have catapulted Monique's career, but instead it did quite the opposite. Because she, quote, refused to campaign for her award, director Lee Daniels pegged her as being difficult to work with and a tacky actress, and she's since lost out on a number of roles as a result. With this new label, no one in Hollywood wanted to work with her after that, over fears that she would be troublesome on set and when promoting her work. Monique rose so high and fell so fast, and her career is no longer the same. At number 7, Stacey Dash. Known for her role as Dion in the 90s film Clueless, Stacey Dash had risen to fame in the 90s, but recently she's hit rock bottom and is no longer welcome in the entertainment industry. Nowadays, the actress is known for being quite outspoken when it comes to her political views, and this is what led Hollywood to lock her out. Speaking out about her take on women's rights, Black History Month, segregation, and the quote-unquote bathroom bill, the actress has proven herself to be too much for even the likes of Fox News, for which she used to be a part of. Stacey would often come on air on Fox News to talk about whatever issues were being discussed, but in a turn of events, Fox News let her go for having gone too far with her words, especially in reference to the abolishment of Black History Month. Some people have said that her extreme beliefs are what stopped Stacey from receiving any roles, and have said that she was even dropped by her agent for being too problematic. Her views on gay and trans rights, as well as opinions on race in Hollywood, have ultimately ended her career as an actress. At number 6, Kirk Cameron. Another celebrity who's been dropped by Hollywood is actor Kirk Cameron. Kirk rose to fame on the show Growing Pains, but has subsequently been banned from Hollywood in recent years because of his personal and religious views, especially those pertaining to the LGBT community. Though he seemingly doesn't care about Hollywood thinks about him, it still doesn't take away from the fact that he's no longer welcome in the industry. In recent weeks, Kirk was in the news for his anti-COVID protests, posting photos of him and large groups of maskless people caroling during the holiday season. This, combined with his controversial views on same-sex marriage and his harsh religious views, which he often preaches, Hollywood doesn't want anything to do with the actor because he has a reputation for being problematic. At number 5, Thora Birch. From Hocus Pocus to American Beauty, Thora Birch was a rising star, but due to a number of reported conflicts, Thora isn't finding the same level of success that she used to, and some say that she's been blacklisted from Hollywood. Much of this has to do with Thora's father and the conflict that he's been involved in. First, it was reported in 2010 that Thora had been fired from an off-Broadway production of Dracula because her father would frequently accompany Thora to set and had physically threatened other actors. Thora was also fired from her next project, Manson Girls, after her father allegedly got into an argument with production. From 2010 to 2018, Thora reportedly booked only one gig, and the actress has said that much of that has to do with her bad rep in the industry. She said that she angered a lot of people over the years, and so this could be the reason that she's blacklisted. At number 4, Isaiah Washington. You may know Isaiah Washington from Grey's Anatomy, but if you wanted to see what he got up to after leaving the show, you might be a little hard-pressed to do so. Isaiah left his role on Grey's for a number of reasons that turned it into scandals. Firstly, he allegedly didn't get along with co-star Patrick Dempsey, and it was alleged that they even got into a physical altercation. But the nail in his coffin, so to speak, was his controversial use of a gay slur when referring to one of his other co-stars, T.R. Knight. As a result, he was let go from the show, and this behavior apparently led him to being blacklisted for a few years. No one wanted to work with him because his homophobic scandal was still fresh in many people's minds. Eventually, he was able to make it back to the screen in Grey's as he took up his character's story once again, and he even got a role on the show The 100. His Hollywood ban was very real, but also very brief. At number 3, Rose McGowan. In 2017, actress Rose McGowan told sources that she was blacklisted from Hollywood because she was a victim of Harvey Weinstein. Rose is one of the individuals who came forward about their unwanted relations with Weinstein, ultimately leading to his conviction. Rose, known for her time on the show Tron as well as in Scream, says that she was threatened and subsequently blacklisted and banned from Hollywood because of what she endured from an internal level as a way to protect those who knew from being outed. Now Rose is very outspoken about these matters and seeks justice for all victims of these sort of crimes. Her case originally settled out of court and everything was kept quiet, which is why she was no longer welcome in the industry, but this ban says a lot about the characters in Hollywood. Wanting to protect the higher-ups in the business and sacrificing someone's career should never be the answer. Rose lost a lot at that time and it's not fair to her, so this is one ban that went unwarranted. At number 2, Jim Caviezel. It's not always tweets and fights that get you banned from Hollywood. The roles you play and the productions that you're a part of can also take a toll on your career, and this is what happened with actor Jim Caviezel. Coming from some minor success in the 90s, Jim's defining moment came when he played Jesus Christ in Mel Gibson's Passions of the Christ film. The movie itself was a financial success, but the media tore it apart, calling it too violent and controversial. The R-rated film caught a lot of bad press as it was seen as anti-Semitic, and those who worked on the film had a hard time shaking that label, especially Jim. Apparently, before filming began, Mel Gibson warned Jim that he could potentially be shunned from Hollywood for this film, but he went ahead with it anyway. Jim says that he has no regrets starring in the movie, but he's no longer welcome in Hollywood as a result. And finally, at number 1, Mel Gibson. Speaking of the Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson is someone who is notoriously hated in Hollywood for a number of reasons. He is no longer considered for any Hollywood roles and only seems to make an entrance into the industry when he is directing his own film, but he still holds a bad rep in the film world. He's been the subject of a number of controversies, from that of the Passions of the Christ for being anti-Semitic, to career-damaging freakouts, driving under the influence, and a number of people coming forward to discuss Mel's racist and anti-Semitic views. Though he continues to get canceled in Hollywood, he attempts to make a return every so often, so I guess you could say he's almost like the Trisha Paytas of Hollywood. He's been facing controversy for decades and no one has really forgiven him, and so he remains banned in Hollywood.
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have the Kardashians. With Kim Kardashian attending the Met Gala since 2013, she has become a series regular. And thanks to her stunning looks, her family has also been asked to attend the hottest event of the season in the past. But now it seems like the whole Kardashian clan may have actually gotten the boot from attending this year's Met Gala event. And it really makes us ask if it's because the family just isn't relevant anymore, with sources telling Page 6 that Vogue's editor-in-chief, Anna Wintour, is cracking down on the guest list. It really makes you wonder why she is leaving Hollywood's most famous family off the list from attending this year's event. And it could be related to the fact that Kim damaged the most iconic dress ever worn by Marilyn Monroe to be the reason behind the family's shutout. But there's still rumors circulating that the Kardashians could actually still show up to the event despite being too C-list for Anna's liking. Number 9, Demi Lovato. When you get invited to the Met Gala and you don't enjoy your time, it's probably better not to speak about it. How much the experience was unjoyful and it was actually a nightmare for you. Or you may never receive an invite to come back, and that's exactly what happened to Demi Lovato after the Met Gala was over. Demi chatted about her experience during an interview with Billboard in 2018, where she would note she hadn't attended a gala since before, saying, "I had a terrible experience. This one celebrity was a complete bee and was miserable to be around, and it was very cliquey, and I remember being so uncomfortable that I wanted to drink. The experience was so bad that Demi even had to leave the Met Gala to go straight to an AA meeting. And especially since she went on to make fun of the gala, Anna probably just will presume to leave her name off the list going forward to prevent Demi from being uncomfortable going forward." Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in number 8, we have Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer's statement on the Met Gala didn't get her banned permanently. Well, that's what we hope, but she
she once made it very clear about how she truly felt about the event when she sat down for an interview with Howard Stern in 2016. And what she had to say definitely hurt her chances of getting an invite back. As the star went on to say, "It's people doing an impersonation of having a conversation. I don't like the farce. We're dressed up like a bunch of effing a-holes. I don't like it. I have no interest in fashion. I don't care. But if you have no interest in fashion, then why would you be attending the biggest fashion event of the year, held by the biggest fashion icon the world has ever known?" Number 7. Rachel Zoe. You definitely won't be seeing celebrity stylist and fashion designer Rachel Zoe getting her own table at the Met Gala anytime soon. The former Bravo series star once was invited to Brian Atwood's table at the 2007 Gala, but she was then shortly disinvited after. And if it couldn't get any more awkward, it would then be said that although Anna doesn't need any kind of formal reason to cut her guest from her party, she definitely cut Rachel from attending the event because she didn't love the fact that Rachel once told the New York Times that Anna Wintour is one of her heroes, but they say I'm more influential. Yikes. Number 6. Zayn Malik. So we all know Zayn attended the 2016 Met Gala with his then girlfriend Gigi Hadid, but he made it very clear at the end of the night that he had no interest in redoing it, as he later told GQ magazine in 2018, "I'd rather be sitting at my house doing something more productive than dressing up in really expensive clothes and then being photographed on the red carpet. To do the self-indulgent look at me, I'm amazing thing on the red carpet, it's not me." And considering he was miserable attending the event and the fact that he and Gigi Hadid are in a giant feud, means that Zayn's chances of attending the event this year are very slim. But it's not like Zayn would really care about being left off the list anyways, as it's not like he wants to run into Gigi's family, and he definitely would rather be sitting at home doing more productive things. It's just really not hard to blame him, as just being able to attend the event once is a dream come true to many. Number 5. Jamila Jamil. So we all know Jamila Jamil is never the one to shy away from expressing her opinions, as a lot of her statements have landed her in the hot seat, and she's definitely on a self-destructive path because of it. Well, back in October, Jamila would call out the Met Gala for their 2023 theme, which celebrated the late Karl Lagerfeld, by saying this man was indeed supremely talented, but used his platform in such a distinctively hateful way, mostly towards women, so repeatedly and up until last year of his life, showing no remorse, no atonement, no apology, no help to groups he attacked. There was no explanation for his cruel outburst, and just like that, she would find her name being cut from the invitation as Anna, and her clearly showed different views, and Anna was afraid Jamila, if she was invited to this year's event, she would make some pretty controversial statements that would have all of Hollywood talking, but I'm sure even without an invitation, we're going to see her try something that we've never seen before. Number 4. Lily Reinhart. So back in October, Lily Reinhart would state that she didn't think she would ever be invited to the Met Gala again. And she may have just been right when she stated that, as we might not see the actor attend the event for a while now. And it wasn't because she didn't have a good time in the years that she has previously attended, but more to do with the fact that she got a little critical when it came to her comments about Kim Kardashian, that had her name removed from the guest list of the hottest event of the year. In case you forgot, after last year's event, Lily was quick to call out Kim after Kim revealed that she had lost 16 pounds in just 3 weeks in order to fit into one of Marilyn Monroe's iconic dresses. And with it, Lily just doesn't seem to regret her comments. She doesn't care to be invited back, but one thing is for sure, even with the Kardashian family being axed from this year's event, Lily had the courage to call the biggest family in Hollywood out, and they're responsible for the ruin of many people who stand before her. So Anna's definitely afraid of what this type of power could have at the gala, and that's why she was disinvited. Number 3. Tim Gunn. Though you might assume that all the important names in fashion could put aside their differences to share the most anticipated party of the year, you obviously know better than that. As we know, the Met Gala wouldn't be the Met Gala with all the cattiness and pettiness reigning in the industry. So Tim Gunn actually used to enjoy attending the Met Galas until 2006, when his invitation disappeared indefinitely. He then told E the reason behind his banning was when he said, "I was asked what is the most unforgettable thing I've seen in fashion, and said it's easy. I was watching Anna Wintour being carried down 5 flights of stairs by 2 bodyguards from a fashion show." While Vogue went on to ask him to make a retraction about his comment, he refused and found his name in Anna's bad book, and there has been a full-out feud between the two since. Number 2, Josh Hartnett. If you're like me, you're probably asking yourself, whatever happened to Josh Hartnett, and why haven't we seen him in all these years? And honestly, it could just be because of Anna Wintour. Though Josh has been an attendee at the Met Gala before, it seems like he found his name being cut from the list, as Anna just doesn't find him relevant any longer. And even with Anna declaring that Josh is no longer relevant, her fans, or those who have been fascinated with the Met Gala for years, have caught wind of this drama due to the 2016 documentary The First Monday in May, as Calvin Klein calls Vogue, requesting to dress Josh Hartnett and have him sit at his table, and Vogue responded with a thanks but no thanks response by saying, "What has he done lately?" Nothing. You guys are all set, and just like that, Josh's career disappeared. And coming in number 1 today, we have Coco Rocha. Supermodel Coco Rocha was a staple on the Met Gala red carpet for years, but when Katy Perry was invited to co-chair the 2017 Comme des Garçons theme event, things got a little too personal. Though Anna oversees the whole affair, she does bestow some of her power to the VIPs who co-host with her each year. As if you recall, back in 2013, Coco once accused Katy of copying her style when the Dark Horse singer wore the exact same gown Coco had donned at that year's Met Gala just a couple months earlier. And flash forward years later, Katy finally got her revenge, and it just gets even more intense, as although Coco has been attending the gala several times for not being invited in 2017, we probably will never see her attend the event again, as once you're kicked off that list, an invite back, unless somehow you become this triple A-list celebrity, which the chances are pretty slim. So starting off our list today at number 10, we have Jennifer Aniston. Despite Jennifer Aniston being an A-list celebrity who is a regular at award show events and the occasional fashion dinner, everyone's favorite friend has never appeared at the Met Gala, and it makes you wonder why we have never actually seen any of the Friends cast attend the event. Even at the height of the show's popularity, it is said Anna just finds the entire cast too C-list for the event. Or does she just find their fashion statements poor? Jennifer has never been the one to step outside of her comfort zone when it comes to fashion, and Anna has probably never invited her because she feels like Jennifer might just not bring her A game to the event. But if one thing's for sure, we can all agree we would still love to see Jennifer bring her signature effortless elegance to the Met steps one year, because that would be iconic, and Anna's truly missing out by not inviting her. Number 9, Kanye West. With Kanye being pretty controversial, it seems like his high fashion connections are dissolving around him, and it seems like even Anna Wintour now wants nothing to do with him and his erratic behavior, and I don't blame her. Anna's at the point where she has no intentions of working with Kanye ever again, and she's even gone on to end more than a decade-long relationship between them that was both business and personal. After Kanye went on a complete downward spiral, a Vogue spokesperson told Page 6, yay unveiling of his White Lives Matter t-shirts in Paris and his subsequent railing against Jewish people were too much for Wintour. And because of Kanye's most infamous episode, Anna has now reportedly told everyone at Vogue that Kanye has been cut out of the magazine's inner circle, which means Kanye will no longer be able to attend Met Gala events, cover shoots, or even have Fashion Week coverage going forward. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming back to the list at number 8, we have Nicki Minaj. Missing the complete mark of the Met Gala last year, her whole ensemble just went a little too far, with her upper body and face following completely in line with the theme as she was covered in black gems. If Nicki just wore a dress and jewels, her look would have been a complete knockout, but the fact that the rapper decided to wear a weird top that didn't fit her well, a hat, and a pair of pants proves that she really just didn't plan her overall look as well as she could have. To make matters even worse, Nicki's top throughout the night just kept slipping down, and apparently Anna wasn't too impressed with the situation, as this year Nicki is finding herself being axed from this prestigious event, especially since after the event she chose to draw attention to her malfunction by saying, the only unplanned thing about my look is that my chest is popping out because they made my cup size a little too small. But isn't this why you do an outfit fitting before the big day? Number 7. Meryl Streep. Being a 3-time Academy Award winner and 9-time Golden Globe winner, Marilyn is accustomed to red carpet events. However, although the acting legend has starred in several fashion-forward roles in movies like The Devil Wears Prada, it would seem like her role in the movie has made Anna a little less than pleased, as she's constantly refusing to talk about the movie, especially when Meryl and her sat down for a meeting. And during the meeting, when Meryl was asked for the identity of the most challenging woman she has ever played, it seems like she was poised to say it was Wintour, only for Wintour to joke, no, we're not going there, Meryl, even though Meryl was set to be co-chair for the 2020 Met Gala. When the event was prevented from taking place that year, she was not re-added to the co-chair when the Met was held again in 2021, and she didn't even receive an invite, which proves that there's a lot of tension when it comes to the fashion guru and actress. Number 6. Adele. Even though Adele has become a music icon after her brief break from the industry in 2021, not only did she prove that she was making a comeback, but she also proved that she was a fashion icon. Whether she was performing in outstanding gowns, rocking a stunning pair of heels, or sitting courtside in striking coats, she has made a lot of heads turn. But even with this, the Easy On Me singer hasn't attended the event. Although there have been rumors that she's been invited to the event before, it seems like she decided to snub the gala, which apparently made Anna really upset, as she puts a lot of consideration to who she chooses to attend the event. So the fact that Adele turned down her offer has turned things a little sour, to the point Anna will be snubbing her from this year's event. Number 5. Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie is pretty much known for her iconic performances in movies like The Tomb Raider and Maleficent. Yet it would seem like even though Angelina has an edgy yet elegant fashion sense that has transformed her into a celebrated fashion icon over the years, it still isn't enough to impress Anna Wintour. Despite being an A-list celebrity, Angelina has never attended the Met Gala, and she probably never will. So we all know that Angelina has never been the one to shy away from making red carpet statements, and she would have probably given us some stunning Met Gala appearances. However, it seems like the star has never been invited to the event, not just because she doesn't find it a priority, but it's because Anna has always suspected that there's just something off about the actress. And with her making a huge scene about her divorce from her ex-husband, Anna now finds her just to be a little too C-list and a little too problematic to be invited to the event. Number 4. Tom Brady. Back in 2014, we were all shocked to see Tom Brady attend the Met Gala, but at the same time, we were all just a little disappointed to see what he chose to wear on the red carpet, because it was clear he just didn't really understand what the event was supposed to be. Well, apparently Anna Wintour felt the exact same way, as when she made an appearance with Seth Meyers to dish out about the Met Gala that very same year, she would throw some major shade at Tom after a photo of the quarterback was shown, and in the photo the quarterback wore a black tie to a white tie event, and Anna responded by saying, well, at least he has Giselle Bundchen, so that helps. And since he's never really been invited to the event because he clearly never reads the invitation. Number 3. Andre Leon Talley. Back in the day, Andre Leon Talley and Anna Wintour appeared to have an unbreakable bond, but later on they proved that appearances can be deceiving. As in the lead up to his memoir, The Chiffon Trenches, Talley spilled the tea on his former boss when he claimed that he was fired from his position as Vogue's editor-at-large in 2018 because he had become too old, too overweight, and too uncool. Andre then went on to paint a brutal picture of Wintour when he alleged that she didn't have any decency and kindness to call or email him about his firing. After Andre then went on to note that before he was fired, he was told his weight was out of control and that he was being sent off to a rehabilitation center at Duke's Diet and Fitness Center. With their friendship being over, it seemed like Anna no longer sees Andre as value to her, and she has completely axed out the editor, leaving him to deal with both emotional and psychological scars. Number 2, we have Giorgio Armani. After Anna Wintour decided to skip out on Giorgio's show on the last day of Milan's Fashion Week, the designer took notice and let the whole world know when he told reporters, there are some who prefer to snub the Giorgio Armani show and go to Paris. She took an airplane, dumped Mr. Armani, and went to Paris. Despite voicing his unhappiness, Anna's behavior upset Giorgio the most, as instead of attending the event herself, she sent her people to the event to attend for her. And this made him feel like he wasn't influential and powerful because Giorgio chose to call Anna out, he's been penalized for it because the power she holds over the fashion community. And because of this, it's not only taken a huge hit on his line, but he's now also been axed from attending the hottest event of the year. And with noting that, when was the last time you ever seen his designs hit the Met Gala? Years. Number 1. Isaac Mizrahi. In 2019, fashion designer Isaac Mizrahi would report that he once fell out of Anna Wintour's favor and she would start to body shame him in the process. Despite the pair having a long-time friendship that spanned on for more than 3 decades, Isaac still decided to dish the dirt on some alleged toxic moments they had in their relationship in his memoir. And in it, he would reveal that Anna has a habit of making fun of his weight, and she never missed an opportunity to make note by congratulating him when he was thin or teasing him when he wasn't. Isaac then went on to note that he knew his relationship with Anna was over in 2013 when he was backstage for his event and she didn't show up. And it seems like his and Anna's bond has been shattered for good as they don't see each other, and she's even axed him from attending the Met Gala.
Starting off at number 10, we have Adrien Brody. Adrien Brody is a well-respected dramatic actor, winning the Oscar in 2002 for the Best Actor in The Pianist, with him kissing presenter Halle Berry on stage. Then on the heels of his new fame, he was asked to host SNL in 2003. And when he was introducing the musical guest, Jamaican singer Sean Paul, he not only made everyone cringe with embarrassment, but he also broke one of the golden rules of live TV. For the introduction, Brody took it upon himself to grab a dreadlock wig and ramble in a problematic Jamaican accent for way too long before handing things off. And even though the Jamaican accent was offensive and he probably should have been banned for just that, the bit wasn't planned and he ended up wasting a lot of valuable airtime, which caused the ban. Brody spoke about the ban with the Huffington Post and said that he might be banned, but he never heard anything official about it. In at number 9, Sinead O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor was asked to perform on SNL in 1990, in the peak of her fame, but she ended up bailing when she realized comedian Andrew Dice Clay was going to be hosting. And although it put a wrinkle in things, they were still able to manage. O'Connor finally performed on SNL in October of 1992, but SNL was probably wishing that she didn't, because O'Connor ended the performance by holding up a picture of Pope John Paul II, ripping it up and stating, quote, "Fight the real enemy," obviously offending millions of people. The show quickly cut after they saw what happened, but the damage was already done and tons of angry calls came in. One audience member tried to assault O'Connor and had to be removed by security. Unsurprisingly, O'Connor never played SNL again. Wonder why? In at number 8, Kanye West. It's no shock that Kanye's banned. Honestly, I'm shocked he's not banned from everything at this point. Before the ban, West appeared on the show 7 times and always managed to bring an incredibly thought out performance to the show. West is even held in such high regards that SNL producers allowed him in a rare third performance segment in that particular episode. But they were shocked when instead of playing a song, he made an entire speech praising President Trump while wearing one of his mega hats. NBC cut the speech short for viewers, and the outburst was not received well by the live audience members. Not long after, West claimed on Twitter that SNL producer Lorne Michaels had asked him to return to, quote, host before the year is out. But according to Radar Online, Kanye was actually banned instead, and the latter seems a lot more likely to me. In at number 7, David Bowie. In 1997, David Bowie was banned, and from what happened, he totally deserved it. Basically, he was asked to be the musical guest, and he was gonna act in a sketch too, but they made a sketch where Bowie would sing parodies of his own songs. Bowie told Post, quote, "One of the things they came up with was a version of my song, Watch That Man, but instead in the chorus I would sing Try Our Flan." Apparently the writers and Bowie fought over the pronunciation of the word flan though. Flan? Flan? I could be messing it up right now. And literally during the broadcast, Bowie said he wasn't gonna do the skit anymore, and he wanted to change the song he was performing. Instead of performing, quote, Telling Lies as rehearsed, Bowie played his 1980 track Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. And the reason is really awful. Apparently Lorne Michaels told Bowie that the song reminded him of a very dark time in his life, and I guess the reason Bowie played it was out of spite. Apparently, as soon as the song was over, Bowie claimed he was escorted from the building and banned from SNL. However, in late 1999, he was back as a musical guest after apparently smoothing things over with Michaels, saying, quote, "We're mates. He knows now that I was just trying to get a rise out of him." And at number 6, Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence's monologue on SNL was so bad that a section of it was actually removed from the live broadcast because the network wouldn't let it air. And if you're wondering what kind of stuff is so bad it won't get aired on television, well, his monologue was talking about genital hygiene of intimate areas, specifically of female intimate areas. and the whole thing was just really crass and explicit. When the episode aired later that night for West Coast viewers, NBC cut out the portion of the monologue and replaced it with text explaining the gist of Lawrence's commentary and how, quote, network policy prevents any rebroadcasting of that routine. The rest of the show went on as usual, but Lawrence was obviously banned from the show right after. Halfway number 5, Cypress Hill. The group Cypress Hill was known for a lot of things back in the day. One in particular was their love of smoking weed. And apparently, even though they were told not to touch the substance the night they were on the show, they of course did. Member DJ Muggs said he, quote, felt like he needed to make a statement with his performance, and that came in the form of him smoking on live TV. And this was back in 1993 when TV was a whole lot different than it is now. Muggs asked Sen Dog to light the joint, but he refused, so Muggs just did it himself. The group claims that the SNL cast came up to them right after and told them how cool they thought the stunt was, but obviously this is live TV people, and the network was not happy, resulting in a lifelong ban from the show. And at number 4, The Replacements. The band The Replacements made fools out of themselves during their performance on SNL, and that was because the band was totally sloshed while performing. Apparently it was a pre-show ritual for them to drink before performing, but SNL has a dry set, so they don't allow alcohol beforehand. Apparently the band got around this by having their sound guy sneak in booze after a pre-show sound check, and by the time they went on, they were hammered. And it was very easy to tell from the footage of the performance. The lead singer wandered away from the mic, the bassist was stumbling, and the guitarist was late to start his solo. So the lead singer actually yelled kind of into the mic, "Come on, effer," to cue him, which was picked up by the mic. And just when it couldn't get any worse, one of the guys ripped their pants at the very end with their rear end out for the world to see. The guys even trashed their hotel room after, that was paid for by SNL. So, I mean, yeah, obviously they were banned after that. That's like 4 strikes against them. In at number 3, Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa was a special type of musician that often infused humor into his music, which made him a great fit for Saturday Night Live, where he was asked to host and be the musical guest in October of 1978. But his performance was so bad, SNL writer and performer Don Novello called it, quote, one of the worst ever. Apparently the final dress rehearsal before the show went so bad that Zappa tried to change his entire approach to the show, but he didn't tell anyone else. And apparently his strategy was to somewhat make fun of the show itself and made the audience aware when things were scripted, with someone from the cast saying, quote, he read the cue cards like he was reading the cards, like he made a point of it. That was his approach to the humor. No one else in the sketches knew it. SNL producer Lorne Michaels did not like the unapproved take on their material and never let him come back. And at number 2, Elvis Costello. Elvis Costello broke one of the major rules of SNL, and that is going against Lorne Michaels. And he paid the price by getting banned. A December 1977 episode featured Elvis Costello as the musical guest, and he played Watching the Detectives in his first slot. Then in his second slot, he started playing Less Than Zero, but then decided to change his mind midway through the song. He told the band to stop playing and told the audience, quote, I'm sorry ladies and gentlemen, there's no reason to do this song here. He then decided to play Radio Radio, which is one song he was told not to play because of how critical of mass media the song is. And because he stopped the show and changed the song, he was banned. However, it wasn't lifelong, and Michaels let him back in 1989. And even joked about getting banned on SNL's 25th anniversary show, so it seems like it all ended well. And finally, number 1, Andy Kaufman. This is a crazy one because Andy got himself banned. So the situation here was that he was put on the show back in 1975 and he managed to gain an audience off of the show. So SNL had him back many times over the years, with him appearing 10 times in the late 70s and early 80s. But one of his bits went south when it had lifelong consequences. Basically, in one skit, he told an SNL producer to read a statement on air in 1982 explaining that Kaufman's scheduled appearance had been cancelled because, quote, Andy Kaufman is not funny anymore. Then the viewers were told to decide Andy's fate, with them able to vote on if he would be banned from the show or not. And sadly for Andy, they voted to ban him for life. The self-imposed ban was never lifted, and he never performed again until he passed away in 1984.
Starting off this countdown, we have Paris Hilton. In 2008, Paris Hilton was banned from attending the Oscars. She thought her 1.1 rating film The Hottie and the Naughty was big enough to land her a seat at the award show. Sadly, it wasn't. According to a source, and I quote, Paris cried hot salty tears when she was banned from the Oscars. She's desperate to be taken seriously as an actress and hoped she would be able to network with film executives. Another source revealed that Paris and a number of other women were banned from the Oscars to prevent the evening from turning into, and I quote, down market scrum. Not scum, scrum. That's insane.
But don't feel too bad for Paris, she still managed to sneak into the after parties. Coming in at number 9, we have Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson was another woman banned from the Oscars in an attempt to keep it more classy. The same source as I previously mentioned said Pamela Anderson was another woman they banned to prevent the evening turning into downmarket scrum. Frankly, they are scrum for doing this. The source continued on saying, and I quote, "They plan to focus on those people who have worked in the film industry for years, not people who are merely celebrities in other areas." In our 8th spot, we have Morgan Wallen. American country music singer Morgan Wallen was banned from the 2021 Billboard Music Awards after a leaked video surfaced showing him using a racial slur. He was banned despite receiving 6 nominations that year. The award show announced that they were banning Morgan, and I quote, "As his conduct does not align with our core values, we will not be including him on the show in any capacity." This isn't the first time he got banned from an award show though. On February 3rd, the Academy of Country Music announced that he was not going to participate in the 56th annual award show. They said, and I quote, "The Academy does not condone or support intolerance or behavior that doesn't align with our commitment and dedication to diversity and inclusion." So it looks like Morgan is banned from a couple of award shows, and who knows if he'll ever be invited back. In our 7th spot, we have Miley Cyrus. I don't know if you noticed, but Miley Cyrus was missing from the 2020 Grammy Awards. Now, some artists chose to skip the show for their own personal reasons, but it seems like Miley just wasn't invited. On Instagram, Cyrus posted a throwback clip of her performance from the 2013 MTV EMAs. She captioned the video, "And we wonder why I'm not invited to award shows anymore." In the video, we see Cyrus light up a joint on stage and take a couple of drags. Could this be why award shows aren't inviting her? Because of her past award show behavior? Seems like it. Miley's celebrity friends were quick to like her video and post encouraging comments like, "Don't ever change," and "I'd invite you first, TBH." Honestly, Miley's just a good time. Like, let's start a petition to get her unbanned. In our 6th spot, we have Kevin Hart. Back in 2019, Kevin Hart was scheduled to be the host for the 2019 Academy Awards. However, old homophobic tweets of his from 2009 and 2011 resurfaced online, and he was immediately blasted. Just to give you an idea of how controversial his tweets were, one of them from 2011 said, and I quote, "Yo, if my son comes home and tries to play with my daughter's dollhouse, I'm going to break it over his head and say in my voice, 'Stop, that's gay.'" To make matters worse, Hart even did stand-up routines talking about how he was scared that his son was going to be gay. Now, instead of apologizing and attempting to keep his role as the host, Kevin voluntarily stepped down and said he will not apologize for his past tweets. He said he's done apologizing for them. He said, and I quote, "There's no more conversation about it. I'm over that. I'm over the moment. I'm not giving no more explanation of who I am. I'm just done." I don't think Hart will be getting an invite in the future, but who knows. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Bill Cosby. In 2018, Bill Cosby was unwelcome at the Emmys. The Academy said that they are erasing his name from the Emmys website and removing his bust display. Now, they didn't say he was officially banned from the show, they just said that he's not welcome there, which basically means you're not invited. Don't come, don't show up, we don't want you here. This is due to the fact that Bill Cosby has taken advantage of a number of women throughout the years. In our 4th spot today, we have Tekashi 6ix9ine. In 2018, Nicki Minaj was invited to perform at the MTV VMAs. She was invited to sing her song Fifi, which was originally a Tekashi 6ix9ine song featuring Nicki Minaj, but later turned into a Nicki song featuring Tekashi 6ix9ine. But Nicki Minaj didn't want to perform the song without him, so she tried her best to swing it so that he attends the MTV VMAs with her. But sadly, he never got approved by the officials. Nicki ended up revealing on one episode of Queen Radio that, and I quote, "I don't want anyone to think for a second that I wouldn't invite him to perform his hit record. I want everyone to know my character. I wanted him to perform with me at the VMAs, and somewhere along the line he didn't get approved to perform by the powers that be." In our 3rd spot, we have Ricky Gervais. If you watched the 2020 Golden Globes, then you know exactly why Ricky is on today's list. He took the opportunity as the host to make jokes about Hollywood. He called a number of people perverts and joked about serious scandals and issues in the industry. A lot of attendees were left completely shocked by his speech. And I guess so were the officials behind the Oscars. When it was time for the 93rd Academy Awards, Ricky was not invited. He poked fun at this by tweeting his speech from the Golden Globes and captioning it, "It's the Oscars tonight, I wasn't invited. Was this something I said?" Coming in at number 2, we have Marilyn Manson. Now this one isn't that shocking considering that the Antichrist superstar has done some pretty controversial things over the years. You know, like taking a broken beer bottle and cutting himself open on stage with it, or urinating on the crowd. That alone is why he doesn't get invited to award shows. But just recently, 5 women came forward saying Marilyn was abusive towards them. One of the women was his former partner, Evan Rachel Wood. Due to these allegations, his guest star appearances in a number of shows have been removed, like American Gods and Creepshow. So if they're removing his scenes in shows, there's no way they're inviting him to any award shows. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Kevin Spacey. Back in 2017, actor Anthony Rapp claimed that when he was 14, Spacey made a sexual advancement towards him. This empowered other victims to come forward. Over the years, a number of men have come forward claiming that Kevin Spacey tried to make advancements on them or that he has taken advantage of them. Kevin Spacey is now blacklisted from Hollywood and will not be attending any award shows anytime soon.
At number 10, Charlie Sheen. The Plaza Hotel is one of the most elegant, prestigious, and well-known hotels in New York. Many of you may know it from Home Alone 2, but me, I know it from the 2009 film Bride Wars. If you know, you know. Well, no matter where you know it from, there is one person who will never step foot in there again, and that's Charlie Sheen. The former 2.5 Men star is reportedly banned from the hotel following an incident from 2010. It is said that Charlie had something of a destructive episode while high, where he caused thousands of dollars in damages to his suite. I wasn't able to find the exact monetary amount of damage that Charlie racked up, as there are reports from amounts of $7,000 all the way up to $20,000, but the bottom line here is that he shredded that room to pieces. He broke mirrors, TVs, and even reportedly had a woman hiding in his room screaming. The situation was so bad that police had to be called to escort the actor from the premises, and he's been permanently banned from the hotel ever since. Coming in at number 9, Kris Jenner. The Kardashian/Jenner clan are amongst the biggest and most famous A-list celebrities in Hollywood. Love them or hate them, they're still some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry, so you'd think that they'd be invited to all of the hottest parties, but no. Turns out there's at least one event that the Kardashians are not welcome to attend, and those are Oscar parties. If you can believe it, the Kardashians have been banned from all Oscar parties, and it's all Kris Jenner's fault. According to reports, Kris Jenner had been invited to an Oscars bash in the past until one event where she reportedly got drunk and was involved in some unacceptable behavior. This made the studio who was hosting the party look bad, so they issued a ban on the Kardashians. The reality family is known for being a little problematic, so the Oscars rep said none of that here, and they just won't welcome them back. But can you really blame them? Now before I get into the rest of the video, I would like to ask you guys to leave a like on this video. It really helps out if you do, so if you're enjoying the video so far, please smash that like. In at number 8, Chris Brown. Chris Brown has a bit of a temper, as a few of you may already know, so it's no surprise that he's been banned from somewhere for being a bit unruly and aggressive. Chris is now banned from the Lifetime Athletic chain of gyms and fitness centers after his encounter with a manager from one of their New York City locations. Reports say that Chris and his friends were in a game of basketball when they started getting loud and unruly and started swearing at each other. As the manager came in to speak to the group and asked them to tone down their voices and music, that's when Chris got angry. According to TMZ, Chris, quote, went ballistic, screaming and swearing at the woman. Chris and his friends were then asked to leave, and Chris reportedly spat on the door on his way out. I mean, dude, all you had to do was stop being so loud and you could have finished your game. Now there is no game to be had. At number 7, Madonna. It seems like Madonna has a record of being on her phone at inappropriate moments, and this is exactly what's led to getting her banned in a few places. First, let's talk about how the pop singer was sort of banned from the Alamo Drafthouse Theater. Back in 2013, Madonna was called out by a film critic during a screening of the film 12 Years a Slave. The critic wrote about how Madonna was texting during the first half of the film, and when the theater got a hold of this information, they issued a statement saying that she would be banned from the theater until she issues an apology. Now, after the scrutiny that she faced in in 2013 at the movies, you'd think that she'd have learned her lesson from that, but oh no. She was also reportedly banned from seeing the Hamilton musical after she was caught by one of the show's stars, Jonathan Groff, for also being on her phone during the production. As a die-hard Hamilton fan, that hurts me to think that she'd disrespect that wonderful musical with her stupid texting. Lin-Manuel Miranda is more important than whoever you're texting, Madonna. Coming in at number 6, Blake Lively. Blake Lively once experienced the wrath of Disney after trying to sneak into Disneyland. In an interview with David Letterman, she revealed that when she was a kid, she and her brother tried sneaking into the theme park. Blake revealed that their plan of action was to take wristbands of people who had left the park and put hairspray on them in order to transfer the barcode onto themselves. They scanned through and got past the gates only to be met with park security. Disney does not play around. The actress said that she and her brother were taken to Disney jail where they were given a 1-year ban from the park. Luckily, after their year ban was up, they were allowed to return to the park with no problem, but I'm sure she never tried to sneak in anywhere again. Halfway through at number 5, Nicki Minaj. Sometimes fans can be a little too much, and Nicki Minaj knows that feeling all too well. The rapper was kicked out of and banned from the Dorchester Hotel in London after her fans, or as she calls them, barbs, became too much for the hotel staff to handle. After arriving at the hotel, Nicki's fans swarmed the place hoping to catch a glimpse of their music icon. It was reported that though they were asked to leave by hotel staff and security, they just wouldn't budge and even started tagging the hotel elevator with graffiti. There were fans camping outside of the hotel, and it was even reported that a fight broke out, resulting in an ambulance having to be called to the area. Staff were really just fed up with the Barb's antics and asked Nicki and her team to find another venue and banned her from the hotel as a result. Even though Nicki has said that she and her fans are a package deal, I don't think the hotels and venues like that idea very much. At number 4, Lindsay Lohan. Speaking of hotels, it turns out Lindsay Lohan was also banned from a hotel, this time being the Chateau Marmont in West Hollywood. It was reported that the hotel had asked Lindsay to remove her belongings and leave the premises after she was unable to settle her $46,000 hotel bill. Yeah. Lohan, who had been staying at the hotel for 2 months, had racked up a bill totaling $46,350, and she received a letter from the hotel's general manager which said, quote, "As we have made repeated attempts to resolve this pressing matter over the last few weeks without any resolution, I regret to inform you that we are no longer able to extend any further credit for you to remain in the hotel. Please have all of your belongings removed from Suite 33 by 12 p.m. Wednesday, August 1st, 2012. They also sent her a list of expenses from the hotel, and let me tell you, that list is long. Like several pages of bills. Over the course of her stay, she racked up thousands of dollars worth of cigarettes, minibar items, and dining expenses as well. She's since been able to settle her debts with the hotel, but she really evaded that one for a while. Over $40,000! My god. Coming in at number 3, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton, the great-granddaughter of the founder of the Hilton Hotels, has ironically been banned from a hotel that luckily isn't one of her namesakes. In 2010, Paris was banned from 2 Wynn Resort hotels in Las Vegas after an incident occurred which led to police catching the heiress with just under a gram of no snow in her purse. It is said that police caught Hilton red-handed as she was looking through her purse for lip balm, and then that's when the bag of no sugar fell out. As one would, she tried to cover her butt by saying that she borrowed the purse from a friend and that it wasn't actually hers, but police didn't believe her and she was arrested for the felony possession charge. This incident didn't just get her banned from the hotel either, she was also banned from the country of Japan because of her drug charge. The country's immigration department has a very strict rule against letting anyone with a criminal record in. So guys, just don't do drugs. Just don't. Especially if you want to go to Japan. At number 2, Ariana Grande. Do you guys remember that Ariana Grande donut incident? That one was really buried deep in my brain until I read this story again. For those who have no clue what I'm talking about, in 2015, Ariana Grande was caught licking a donut on display at a donut shop called Wolfie Donuts in Lake Elsinore, California. She and her friends were visiting the shop when they dared the pop star to lick the donut. Seemed harmless enough until the footage of that incident was posted online. She was also captured making some less than friendly remarks about Americans for some reason. Once she was exposed on social media for her behavior, she issued an apology to her fans and to the bakery for her actions. It was also reported that the bakery's owner had originally wanted to press charges but decided against it in the end. But instead, she's been banned from the establishment ever since. Finally, at number 1, Lil Wayne. Turns out Lil Wayne has quite a rocky past when it comes to the NBA. In 2012, he was denied entry to an Oklahoma City Thunder's game after what seemed to have been a ticketing mix-up. And then in 2013, there was an altercation during a Lakers vs. Heat game that left him not only banned from the game, but just banned from all NBA events. Apparently, the rapper got into a verbal altercation with a fan in the stands, and this outburst led to him gesturing to the fan that he had a gun. This led to him allegedly leaving the stadium on his own accord and being banned from all NBA events. Just to make matters worse, he then went on a Twitter rampage, as one does, saying some NSFW stuff about the NBA and Chris Bosh's wife. Way to leave things on good terms, dude.